welcome back everyone to the 2016 America's World Championship. We have the final game between Zenstyle and Puffin coming up now. So these guys tied 2-2 in the best of 5. Puffin doing pretty well recently, just come off a win at the Innkeeper's Showdown, whereas Zenstyle, once considered one of the best players around, has actually struggled this year for any real big performances at all. So he's really looking to continue this match. The winner does go on to the grand finals, so these guys have everything to play for. Just look at the decks these guys have taken for their previous matches. We had Zenstyle is bringing his Mage, which is Tempo Mage, his Warlock, which is Malygos Lock, and his mid-range Druid. So not super standard lineup. The Druid is obviously quite common. Mid-range Druid has always been popular and has always been popular because it's just consistently good. It's not the best deck in the world, but it's always performing pretty well. And to have a lineup in a best of 5 where you get to pick 3 classes is pretty reasonable. The Malygos Lock on the other hand is sort of ebbs and flows. It sort of comes into the meta now and again, demolishes a couple of tournaments, as we recently saw Purple take a tournament with Malygos Lock being in his lineup. And the Tempo Mage, more of a stylistic pick. There's a few variations of Mage, mainly sort of Tempo or Freeze Mage. Mech Mage has been dipping in and out a little bit, but it looks like Zenstyle prefers his Tempo. Whereas on the other hand, Puffin has his own Mage, which is the Freeze Mage, which has seen, again, a little bit more popularity very recently, but sort of dipped off the radar a little bit beforehand. He took his own Warlock, which was actually Zoo. So again, another deck that's becoming more popular. Never truly gone away, but just rise and falls depending on what the meta's looking like. And then he's brought Oil Rogue, which we've seen a resurgence of actually in the recent expansion. Everyone seems to be playing its lineup good against all the Paladins we've seen, although neither of these players have actually taken Paladin. But it has a lot of good matchups here, and even the mid-range Druid it would be okay against. The Malygos again reasonable, and the Tempo Mage again is the same. It works just to try and keep on top of the board and slow that Mage down. But it looks like the guys are ready, so we are just going to get into the final match. It's going to be Zenstyle versus Puffin, Tempo Mage versus Rogue, and this is to go through to the finals. So now looking at the opening hand, Zenstyle has Mana Worm, Arcane Missiles, an Arcane Blast, and another Mana Worm after the mulligan on the coin. I'd be interested to see whether he actually chooses to take the Mana Worm coin, Mana Worm option. We'll see what he does. The Mirror Entity, not fantastic. You normally want to see that off Scientist. If anything, he looks like he's just choosing to go for 1 Mana Worm because he has so many spells and the coin next turn. He can pretty much deal with anything Puffin puts out. Whereas on Puffin's side, he's just going to dagger up and give a bit of a Happy Feast of Wintervale, one of the more popular emotes at the moment. Thanks Blizzard for that one. And yeah, Puffin's the SI7 agent's going to be pretty nice next turn, but he's going to have to use a prep, I think, to combo it with something. Whereas Zenstyle's actually got the Sorcerer's Apprentice now to make the spells cost nothing. This is actually pretty huge. It might actually be worth... I'm interested why he didn't actually just play Mana Worm and then coin out the Apprentice, then play Missiles if he wanted to go all in, but he's choosing to be a little bit more defensive. Just wants to see if Puffin's got anything early on to actually deal with this, and we are going to see the prep of this into SI. It lined up pretty well for Puffin actually. He didn't have the best opening hand, but this opening from Zenstyle, because he didn't particularly go all in, which is still okay for Zenstyle because he does have answers now. But Puffin managed to just get away with that one, leave the SI on the board, still got the weapon without use, so it's looking pretty good. The Arcane Blast is going to buff that Mana Worm, and he's going to hope the Arcane Missiles don't completely whiff. Let's have a look. Oh, the first one just hits straight away. That's not too bad at all. So there's a 3/3 Mana Worm on the board, and Puffin doesn't really have that many options. He can't really combo. You'd have to use like Flurry of This to clear it, but you'd have to just waste a lot of damage. He could just play Oil and clear it, which might be the play, because the thing with Tempo Mage is it actually can run out of steam a little bit. It doesn't really have much card draw mechanic. I think some Tempo Mages run an Arcane Intellect maybe, but not too many. So a lot of it, if you can just slow out the start, especially the quick start that Zenstyle had, Puffin's done really well to just slow that down. And I think he needs to continue with this line of play, and he is just going to use the Oil there and remove the Mana Worm. So this is quite nice. He has the weapon for next turn, and suddenly Zenstyle's a little bit drawn, a little bit dead here. He can get off the Mirror Image and the Mirror Entity, but just not really quick enough for tempo. Now Puffin will probably know that's Mirror Entity because a lot of the a lot of the Tempo Mages only play that Secret. He has gone with the Sludge Belcher, but I suppose the downside of Puffin playing around Mirror Entity means at the moment he couldn't really play any minions. So he's just giving him the Sludge Belcher, got one of his own, and he does still have that weapon, and more importantly, he has Blade Flurry as well, which is super important. Looks like Zenstyle's just going for a Fireball to the Sludge Belcher, going to clear that up, but now Flurry looks awfully nice. Does he? If he wants to Flurry though, he doesn't. It's like going to be a Flurry Dagger up. Maybe he prefers playing a different line here, so he is going to Drake. Will die from the Belcher ping. Oh, he's just going to attack the Belcher. Oh, this is okay. This is nice. The 1-2 Sludge isn't going to be too much of a problem. Obviously, the 0-2s, although annoying, aren't too much of a threat. But here's Unstable Portal. Zenstyle needed something like this. Into a 5-mana Kel'Thuzad. Are these taunts ever going to die? As I imagine we are going to see KT come out next turn. Puffin does have Sap, which is important. And now he has Loatheb as well, which is one of the best cards to slow down any opponent, really. You almost just lock a turn out of almost any spells being played with the +5 cost on any spell. So that coin, 0 mana, is going to cost 5 this turn. But Zenstyle probably not going to be too upset. I imagine we are going to see the KT, depending on what comes out. Maybe the Drake's more worthwhile. You normally, if you have KT, you want to put him on the board when there's already minions on the board that are dying that turn. So you get that instant value, which is something that makes a lot of the legendaries either great or average, how quick you can get the value from them. He does play the Drake, gets the card drawn to a counter spell, and just pings the Azure Drake just to lower its health a little bit. Puffin still has to work its way through these 2 taunts though. He does have Flurry, but it would feel a little bit of a waste not being able to get the attack off as well. Although it would clear the board. He could Deadly Poison, Flurry, and then just push forward, but it looks like he's hovering over that sprint. If he sprints, he has a bit of a slower turn, but he can still clear off the 2 taunts, so that wouldn't be too bad. He could actually still Deadly Poison, kill the 2 taunts, and then run the Loatheb into the 4-4, or even the 4-2 into the 4-4 and guard the health on Loatheb. Double backstab's actually pretty nice. Just swinging the attack there with the weapon just to clear off the taunt. He's going to trade the Drakes? I imagine so, yeah. So as the rogue, you just want to keep the board empty on your opponent's side and always try and keep at least 1 minion on your side. There's the Arcane Intellect that a lot of the Tempo Mages do run, and the follow-up just doesn't feel great though. It's kind of really rough. You're always scared of Sap against Rogue, and he's not seen any Saps yet. He's just going to drop the biggest minion possible and just hope Puffin doesn't have a Sap, which is pretty reasonable play. If he played anything else, it could have only been like Shredder or Flamewaker Ping. So not really good enough. So you just hope he doesn't have the Sap, but as we can see, Puffin does. So the Valid Teacher is going to get dropped down. Create a token with the Sap there. Every time a spell is cast, a token is created. And then this is where it starts to go wrong when you're facing a rogue. When they have board and they just remove any big minion, and you don't have any smaller minions to actually play. Maybe the Unstable Portal into Kel'Thuzad wasn't as amazing as we thought it was earlier on. He does get 2 fireballs, so he does get a lot of value from the Archmage Antonidas quite early and instantly with the coin as well. The counter spell's up, but I just think Puffin's got too much. Now, is Puffin going to play around Counterspell? I think that's the key point here. A lot of mages don't, like, the standard, I would say, recently has been just 2 Mirror Entity. So he's got to play around Mirror Entity first. Drop the Thalnos, I like this. And then he knows it's Counterspell, so he can play Backstab. There is chance of Duplicate, but the Backstab still does the same job. Yes, he's going to Backstab again, because he still wants the damage on the Antonidas. So even if it was Duplicate, he would have known it was Duplicate, and then done something around that. Which still involves killing the Antonidas, because it's not really a card you can keep up. And now Flurry looks pretty good. It does the same thing as just attacking, except he takes no damage, and he does the additional damage to face as well. With that Thalnos, just enough to kill off the Antonidas. And this is going to be really rough. Puffin's got the board. He can even squeeze in Redagger and a hit just to really push for damage. Oh, he's even going for the Eviscerate. He's actually just going all in. Okay. What does Zenstyle actually have to come out of this? I'm not really sure. This has been really rough actually for him. He's not been able to get much down. Oh, Mirror Image, sorry. Fireball comes down onto the Loatheb. This is going to be a slim chance at survival. He does take off 2 of the minions there. And with ping. Okay, there's the nothing can stop me. Zenstyle there just, you know, trying to assert dominance with the emotes. But Zenstyle's still in a bit of trouble. He's not out of the water yet. I mean, he has got the good follow-up of Kel'Thuzad, so these taunts will hopefully stick around. But it looks like Puffin's actually just going to be able to clear them both. And potentially, if he wants to use the Violet Teacher now, if he's going to prep and flurry, he can actually clear off the Flame Waker as well. So let's have a look. What's the play? He does clear off the Flame Waker. He didn't want to happen what happened last turn, where a few spells come out and clear a lot of the board. And now I just don't know what the answer is. Does Ethereal conjure it? Are we going to see this save the day with an Ice Block maybe? Another Fireball. He could Cone of Cold the... Oh, it's just not enough. He can Cone of Cold, but that's definitely going to be rough without being able to squeeze in some more damage. The bombs actually hit for 2, hit for 1, and that is going to be the game. As Puffin works out exactly how he wants to end this with Happy Feast of Wintervale. He's going to troll. He's going to be put the heal bot down. Probably feeling pretty good as he moves on to the Grand Finals and to continue his winning streak of this year so far. And Zenstyle unfortunately came so close, as there is the final hit. Came so close, but just not quite enough to actually bring the game back. So there it is, guys. It's bit of a rough one for Zenstyle, to be honest. Really rough, as we just flick to the screen there. So yeah, it's rough game for Zenstyle there. Puffin definitely got ahead, although it looked like Zenstyle had the early start. Puffin managed to even that one out and then carry on and just gain the tempo that the Rogue's known for. And that's the sort of thing all the Rogue can do, and why it's coming back into popularity at the moment. But that's going to be it, guys. Puffin does take it and move on to the Grand Finals, continuing his dominating streak in the scene at the moment, whereas Zenstyle came really close, but has to try again next time. That's going to be it. So look forward to the Grand Finals. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon.